All right. First and foremost, I want to give thanks and praise unto that of the Most High, the Self-Begotten. I was just hearing online of a person making kind of reference quote Allah, Jesus Christ. Here we go with this difference of religion. Listen, anything that you find in creation is here out of the goodness of the self-begotten. And if it wasn't created through that of the self-begotten, it is allowed to exist because of the self-begotten. All right? Now you speak of Allah, you speak of Christ. You speak on that on which you know not. Do you know all of the gods? Right? You speak not of Yahweh, Pegasus, Parias. But you know what? That ain't even your business, bro. But I'm just saying, listen, I'm not down here for religion, man. I'm down here for existence. You still looking at differences, and I don't have time for that, man. Y'all right for existence is on the line, man, and I don't know if you comprehending that, man. You steadily bringing up differences of religion. You talk about difference of gods, but that's not Allah that's bringing that coming down here, man. And if I mention something of Allah or I quote something from the Quran, that is your field of study. And if it's inaccurate, then by all means correct me on that. But you cannot speak on that which you cannot encompass. If your mind, if you have dedicated your time, your devotion to one particular book, then you are confined within the limitations of that. So anything outside of that, you should not really speak on because it is outside of that of what you encompass. You are limited in your thinking, in your thoughts. You are confined within the confinements, and maybe in that confinements you find your pathway. That is fine. I will never speak badly of a man's belief, nor his thoughts, or on in which way he finds his own salvation. But don't down those, or try to dim the light of those who are on a different pathway. They all end at the same road. You know, even over there, it's not a light subject because you got a lot of bloodshed, and I haven't had the time to sit down over there to see what's really going on. I'm here on this side of the globe. But you have a lot of bloodshed going on. There's a lot of real things going on over there behind that still. But reflectively looking with inside that right now, I want you to take a minute to look and look around and see who are you fighting. I need you to look and see you are fighting yourself. And this war you have between the difference in gods only exists within your mind. Because Allah and Christ ain't got no problems, bro. Neither do none of the gods because they have encompassed above that. But if you still want to be down here, you still want to, throw rocks, shoot guns at each other, try to throw rocks at tanks and tanks blowing each other up, that is very belittling of yourselves, because the only ones you're fighting is yourself in a war that exists only within your mind, because the gods are not at war. But I find this very trivial that you could mention something of any accord that highlights differences when something comes to even question your existence. This is not looking very good, man. And I don't really want to say too much on it, man, because it's listen, if you think I'm here doing this because I want some notoriety, some stardom, or some acknowledgement, I'm not. I didn't even want to be here. I do this because I have no choice, right? I do this because I serve my Father. And that's it, man. And I refuse, I shouldn't allow, the ignorance or simple-mindedness of a select few to jeopardize the salvation of all. I don't have time for the pettiness, man. You talking about differences in religion, and you need to be looking at your right for existence, man. This again is a very I can't rationalize this thought pattern. You are fighting about the right of the gods, and yet the gods are in no type of war. They are in accord. They have an understanding, in-depth knowing of one another. Two gods that are good usually fight two gods of evil. So I really find it hard to really even fathom if you really know what you're talking about. I've studied the Bible, the Quran. I studied Buddhism, Gnosticism, spiritualism, anything you want to say that was here, man. So I'm not just speaking to be speaking. I take a moment to think before I speak, man. And I think you need to take a moment to think before you speak as well, man. Peace be with you, my brother. Allah Akbar. And God is good, man. God is good. And peace be unto you. All right? Cool, man.